Larry Goulder, in the United States, oftentimes environmental action is thought to increase prices on companies and consumers, and that's bad for the economy. Yes or no?
Well, it's bad if you take a narrow view of things. That is to say, if you require that farmers engage in practices that prevent nitrogen fertilizer runoff from contaminating streams, or if you require that they herd cattle in a way that they weren't doing it before to prevent the discharge of waste that pollute the environment. On a narrow view, yes, this is going to cost more. If you take the broader view and realize that what we're gaining from doing this, in particular, in this example, preserving water quality, we actually gain. That the environmental benefits from preserving nature's services, in this case water quality, would vastly exceed the cost to farmers. So is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? I think overall it's a good thing. The challenge is to find a way that these overall benefits to society can be used and discharged in a way to pay farmers for the extra cost. There's a way that you can do it so that it's a win-win. There's enough environmental benefit here. It's worth enough to subsidize the farmers' extra costs so that they're no worse off. At the same time, we're better off, even net of the subsidy, because we have cleaner water. So there's a potential here for a win-win if we're smart about it.
Really comes down to who pays the costs, right? I mean, isn't this, you can say socialized, but people often think about what their company or they themselves are going to pay, right? Tony Juniper?
Well, this then raises the whole question of so-called externalities, which you'll be very familiar with as an economist. And this is basically the hidden costs in a particular transaction. So, for example, if I owned a coal-fired power station and I'm burning coal and I'm selling the electricity into the market, that is one expression of the costs and prices involved in the process of generating power that way. But there's an external cost that's not on anyone's balance sheet or being paid by anybody, and that is the pollution coming out of the chimney, which is causing the Earth's atmosphere to warm up or is causing somebody to suffer respiratory problems somewhere down the road. Both of those things have a big cost. They're externalities and they're not being paid for. So if you did start to express the full costs of different kinds of economic activities, whether it's the use of nitrogen fertilizer, the depletion of a freshwater aquifer, the destruction of pollinating insects, or the loading of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, if you start to pay for the damage that comes with those activities, then you get a radically different set of signals going into companies. And I think that is part of the key to this, is actually getting the people who are benefiting from the environmental damage to actually pay for the costs of that. And then some of these things don't look too clever anymore once you start to build in these externalities.